We bring you Texas Rangers manager Bruce Bochy. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are we doing?
Well, we're coming off another big win, so I think that's always a positive, even if some concerning injuries might have popped up along the way.
Yeah, you're right. Great win. Great job by the club. Swung the bats well. Corbin, terrific job, especially pitching in this ballpark. I mean, the ball's flying. It's like playing in Coors Field here, and you saw all the home runs last night. And so, nice job of I think of our staff just keeping them under control to win that one. Now, Seager, we'll get some information on him real soon. He's getting looked at as we speak, and got to know where we're at with him.
So the MRI has already taken place. You're just waiting on the results. Is that a fair way to put it?
Right. I'm just waiting to get the results. I'm waiting to hear back from our trainer, Lucky, and to let me know the extent of this, and we'll see where we're at on whether it's an IL or he needs a few days. I just can't tell you now.
How much input, like I know the medical is a hugely important part of it, but how much input do you get from the player himself? Like especially for Corey Seager, who's a veteran, who's been through this, who knows his body. How helpful is he to be like, well, I can compare it to this. I think it's going to be less time, and on and on.
Well, it's a good question. We do take that information that they give us as far as what they feel like. Corey has had hamstring pulls before, and so he's got a pretty good idea on how bad he did it. I will say this: he does a great job of playing with the hamstring issue or even a calf issue, which we saw earlier. He's able to keep under control to where he doesn't stress it out, and so last night he did. Last night he did feel like this may take a few days.
You got to feel pretty confident, Boch, after making some lineup adjustments last night and then seeing the result that you saw. Where are you feeling today?
Yeah, well, it went well. I'll say that, with how it was set up. The first two guys get on, and Corey's up there with a couple men on base. Marcus in that 5-hole, he got a history of hitting with men on base and, gets a sac fly, 3-run homer. So sometimes you just change things up, though, to change it up. And I said this, I've been talking about doing something a little different to see if we can get firing on all cylinders. And so you hope it does do something. You don't know if it's going to work when you're moving guys around, but I have to say this: they've been great about it. Corey says I'll hit anywhere, first, second, third, or seventh, and and Marcus the same way. So this says a lot about who they are.
Does Marcus he celebrate a home run, or is he just like right back to business? I'm not even thinking about it.
Man, we all enjoy him, but he's not one to show a lot of emotion like Corey. It's come the old school way. Hey, just act like you've done it before. And but that was a big one for us, especially in a game like that, because you're going through your staff pretty good, but also you realize that the sport it can change so fast here. You get a guy or two on, somebody pops one. I don't know how many of those home runs would have been out at our ballpark, but if I had to guess, I'd say maybe 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
Talking with Bruce Bochy right here on 105.3 The Fan. You said something a few days ago that still feels relevant, and I would love if you could explain it any more. When you're talking about Jock Peterson, you talked about the timing with him, and it's not about working harder, making drastic changes. Can you walk us through, what does that work look like? Like the timing in the cage, timing at the plate, what all goes into that?
Yeah, with Jock, it's a lot of timing in the cage. He has his hitting guy too. He came out to Texas, and they did a lot of work, in the cage, trying to get him on track. The biggest thing is, I think, for these guys that go through these skids, it's how you deal with it. and I'll say this, he's the first one out there when we win the game, even though he went 0 for 4. He's upbeat when he walks in the clubhouse. So, he's doing a terrific job of not, feeling for himself or feeling sorry for himself. I mean, and just, just think about the team and think about wins. And that's what you want to see from these guys. He will come out of this. And hopefully, sooner or later, as we all say. But I feel like, the work that he's doing it's going to pay off, especially when he's got such a trusted hitting coach that he has in this hitting group that we have, and you just got to stay behind them. And in our hitters meeting yesterday, Pilar talked about it. Hey, we're all going to go through our skids, whatever, but we have to have each other's back and keep pulling for each other and support each other. And this is what this group does so well.
I would love to know your thoughts on this, because we get people who ask questions, or as you can kind of guess, sometimes complain about this. What would you say to the folks who place the blame on the hitting coach for the early offensive struggles?
Well, it's one of the toughest jobs, being a hitting coach, because, you can do all you can do all the work you think you need to do, but, you're not up there hitting. And so you have the information for them. You have them prepared, and you just got to hope they come through. Now, I had an old coach of mine that would just let go with the Rockies, Bam Bam Mullins, and, they're having a tough time. And I'm sure he had nothing to do with their woes, but sometimes changes are made because they feel like you have to have a different voice or something. And but it's ultimately it's up to the players, but it's up to us to motivate and have these guys prepared and all that. We have to do our job, and things aren't going well yet. You understand that that there could be a change.
Bam Bam's got to be a top 10 hitting name, by the way. When it comes to
True.
That, is Josh Smith more than a utility player? Because I just don't know how many utility players in the league are doing what he does.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, he was my everyday left fielder when Wyatt went down. He could be. We saw him play every day at third base, shortstop. He is more than that. So he's a guy that I have to make sure I don't run him into the ground, because he's so critical for this club. He can play anywhere and give guys days off. He handles it so well, and he's got a little thumb thing going on. So I have to remind myself we cannot lose this guy. We got to take care of him.
Yeah.
Well, do you anticipate maybe a couple of games missed here or there for Josh then, or he's just fighting through it?
No. He's playing through this.
Okay.
He's doing a terrific job. But I may give him the day off, depending on where we're at with Corey today. If hopefully it doesn't happen. If he goes on the IL, we bring somebody up. And we're facing a left-hander, Sears, today. So if I'm going to give Smitty a day, today would be a good day to give him off.
You were talking a little bit about what Patrick Corbin did last night. This pitching staff overall, we've just been in awe of what they're doing. And I keep saying, it's nice to have Mike Maddox's plan. When he puts a really good plan together, but those guys have to step on that mound and execute it. Where is their confidence, each one of these dudes, as they go out for starts?
Great group of pitchers that we have here, starters and relievers. They have stepped up in a big way. The starters are, they're just, trying to match the guy before them who just threw a good game. The same with the relievers, doing a great job of picking each other up. Very close-knit group, and Mike does a terrific job, as you know. I mean, there's nobody better. And of course, we got Jordan Teagues in the bullpen. He's helping out. Bush he's helping us out with the pitching. So we have a great staff to have these guys prepared, and you saw the work they put in. I mean, it's impressive how early they get there, how they go through the hitters and go through the game plan. We have a catcher's meeting along with the starting pitcher there, and and then we have a big pitchers meeting. So there's a lot of work involved with this, and Mike, he does such a great job.
And we saw that Leiter had a pretty good start last night in his rehab. How soon are you expecting him to make his way back? And then are you going to go to a 9-man pitching rotation?
Yeah, he did do a real nice job last night. He went for, I think, 2/3 of 60 pitches. All went well. So he's ready to go, and we'll come up with his game plan on when his start will be. But it's good to see him come off this blister issue and throw the ball the way he's throwing.
Now, you mentioned earlier in our discussion that the ball was really flying out of the park yesterday. There have been a lot of complaints already about that ballpark and the logistics of it. Do you think anything is going to have to be done, or like adaptations or adjustments are going to have to be made to that ballpark? Because it's going to be there for a few years.
Yeah, well, I talked about it yesterday. I think the improvements that they have made at the ballpark, it's been really good. It's been impressive. The guys are comfortable. The clubhouse, all that. They got a new batter's eye there. As far as how it's going to play, it's going to play small. It won't be all the time. It really depends on how the wind blows. If you see the wind blowing from left field to right field, that's when it knocks down the ball. It does do that. But when it's kind of blowing out a little bit, like it was last night, that's when it really carries. So I don't know if they're going to end up doing something because I know that's part of the game that is exciting for the fans, whatever. And, the high-scoring games and, the home runs and things. So I don't think it's anything worse than Corey Field, for example.
Right.
So I just don't see any changes being made there. But who knows? As we move on from this and there's 8 to 10 home runs hit every game, yeah, you're probably right. Fences will go back.
We've talked a lot about how the Rangers do a really good job of like mixing gut feelings with analytics. And one of the things you were just saying about the wind, that feels like a gut feeling where you've been doing this long enough and you're like, I don't need a weather report. I can see the way the flags are moving. Like, I know exactly what this wind is doing. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it is. I've been to this park quite a few times. When I retired, I did some stuff in the minor leagues. And that's where the Giants AAA team was. And, it's funny when we were talking about the ballparks, how they would play in the new ballparks. The early reports are this is going to be a pitcher-friendly ballpark. I go, wait a minute, this is not a pitcher-friendly ballpark. Now, I don't have all the info you may have, but my eyes have seen that this ball flies here in Sacramento, and that's the way it's been going since the season started. But again, I've seen when it didn't fly well when the winds blown across from left to right. Now in the summer when it's hot, it's going to fly a little bit more too. So you got to think about that.
Wow. I'd be interested to see how that ballpark goes the rest of the season. Now, Kumar Rocker pitching tonight, outside of obviously pitching well and keeping y'all in the ball game to win, is there anything specifically that you're looking for as he continues down his major league path?
Well, I mean, the game he threw his last start, that's what we're looking for. Didn't walk anybody, pounded the strike zone, terrific command of the breaking ball and change up and the fastball. Went in and out with it. He ran it, the two-seam ran on him, was in command the whole way. And that's who he is when he's good. And so if he does that, attacks his zone, he's going to have success here. It doesn't matter how the ballpark plays. If you make quality pitches, you'll pitch a good game here. You saw what Corbin did. What he give up? A couple of runs there. It's a nice job by him.
Excellent. As always, teams won 5-7. The Rangers fans are happy. Thank you very much for the time, good sir.
All right, guys. Good talking with you.